right, big time green arrows here ahead of Wednesday's open for May 6th. S&P futures up 0.75%. They were actually up over 1% at the high. They've backed off that high a little bit, but still green across the board. S&P up 0.75%, Dow futures up 0.92%, and the Nasdaq futures leading the way higher at 1.25%, 1.25%. All right, let's take a look at some cues from last session here. Recording the biggest gains on Tuesday were materials, information technology, and industrials, as all S&P 500 sectors closed positively, with no groups posting losses. Now, given the news that we have here today about the potential end to the conflict and seeing yesterday's trading action, can you make the assumption that maybe somebody had an inkling that that was going to happen? You could make that assumption. We'll see how it shakes out. U.S. stock futures rose on Wednesday after Tuesday's record close. This followed President Trump's announcement of a temporary pause in the military-backed operation called Project Freedom. This project was designed to escort commercial ships through the Strait of Hormuz. Trump said on Truth Social that while U.S. operations would be paused temporarily to allow negotiations to continue, America's blockade would remain firmly in place. Meanwhile, the 10-year Treasury bond yielded 4.37%, and the 2-year bond was at 3.89%. The CME Group's Fed Watch Tool projections show the markets pricing in a 94.1% likelihood of the Federal Reserve leaving the current interest rates unchanged during the June meeting. Now, if oil continues to get pounded here, we'll see how that changes. We have several stocks in focus here for you today, and the first one is going to be SMCI. This is Super Micro Computer, and it jumped 17.21% after reporting upbeat earnings for the third quarter and issuing fourth quarter EPS guidance above estimates. Supermicro reported adjusted EPS of 84-cent. That crushed the 62-cent estimate. Sales of $10.243 billion missed the estimate of $12.33 billion. Supermicro Computer sees Q4 adjusted EPS of 65 to 79 cents. That was versus a 55-cent estimate. And they see sales of 11 to 12.5 billion. That was versus an estimate of 11.069 billion. The next stock on our list is going to be Advanced Micro Devices, and the ticker is AMD, and it surged 18.64% as it reported better than expected first quarter financial results and issued second quarter guidance above estimates. AMD posted an adjusted EPS of 137, which beat the 129 estimate, and sales came in at 10.25 billion, which beat the 9.89 estimate. AMD also sees Q2 sales of 10.9 billion to 11.5 billion, and that was versus an estimate of 10.518 billion. The next stock on our list is going to be Arista Networks. Ticker is ANET, and it dropped 8.74% as the company guided second quarter revenue of 2.8 billion and EPS of 88 cents, both above expectations. But shares fell sharply after hours as investors appeared to anticipate stronger guidance. Arista Networks sees Q2 adjusted EPS of 88 cents versus an 85-cent estimate, and they see Q2 sales at 2.8 billion versus the 2.774 billion. So it looks like investors were looking for more than that, and they simply didn't get it. The next stock on our list is going to be Intel. Looking at you, Kelly. Intel advanced 6.4% after it cleared a significant antitrust hurdle for its investment in AI chip startup Samba Nova, boosting investor confidence in its strategic direction. And it really seems like Intel has been firing on all cylinders recently. Again, that stock here, 112 in the pre-market. The last stock on our list is going to be Micron, ticker MU. It gained 6.5% after the company's CEO highlighted the growing demand for memory in AI applications, emphasizing that the issue lies in tight supply rather than weak demand. This surge in demand has positively impacted Micron's stock performance. I would say that that's a bit of an understatement. Micron is absolutely mooning here today.